War Thunder is sponsoring today's video, more on that in a bit. So a couple weeks ago, I made a video on how to easily improve the graphics and the looks of your game and turn your gamma from this to something like this, with a ton of customization options to choose from, so everyone can get a game that looks better and more importantly fits a look that you personally like. Today we're doing the same thing but for gameplay. So we're going to talk about mods that are easy to install, easy to set up, that's still very important to me, and that will drastically change and improve your game experience, even how you play the game as a whole. If you watch my last Iron Man run, you probably noticed I'm getting a bit bored with the game. I still love Gamma, I will be a fanboy forever, but I wish I could wipe my memory and play it again for the first time. Because after so many times doing the same things, the same tasks, the same missions, everybody gets burned out eventually. So today that's exactly what we are going to address, and once again the modding community is coming to the rescue. We are going to talk about new gameplay mechanics, new missions, new exciting things to do in general, and a couple extra cool mods you should check out if you've never heard about them. I'm using Gamma as a base because even if you don't like Gamma, it's an incredible mod pack to use as a starting point to craft the experience you want on top of it, instead of starting from scratch from base Anomaly. But everything we're going to cover today will work on any Anomaly-based mod pack. And we're gonna start with probably one of the most ambitious and exciting projects I have seen in a while, so we're not saving the best mods for the end of the video, we are diving straight into it. But before we get started, I want to talk quickly about today's sponsor, War Thunder. If you're a fan of military history, it's one of the most in-depth vehicle combat games on the market, and you can play it for free on PC, consoles, and even mobile, so you can take the game with you everywhere. There's over 2,500 tanks, planes, helicopters, and ships from 10 different countries to choose from, biplanes from the 20s, modern fighter jets, battle tanks, and everything in between. They're all incredibly detailed vehicles with realistic graphics and authentic sound effects that will make you feel like you're actually behind the controls for intense combat in these iconic war machines. The game is famous for the amount of detail put into its damage model. Every vehicle is modeled down to its core components, engines, weapons, crew, everything can be damaged, destroyed, and this is by far one of the most satisfying aspects. There's a worldwide community of over 95 million players to have epic PvP fights with, and always something new to discover. If you're a fan of military history, it will be hard to find another game with such high quality content and attention to historical detail. You can play War Thunder for free on PC, PlayStation, Xbox, and mobile, and use my links in the pinned comment or video description to sign up. New players and those who haven't played in 6 months on PC and consoles will receive a great bonus pack. Multiple premium vehicles, exclusive vehicle decorator, Eagle of Valor, 100,000 Silver Lions, and 7 days of premium account. It's available for a limited time only, so don't miss it. Okay, back to Stalker. I'm going to start with a controversial take. I loved Fallout 4. Yeah, New Vegas is better, blah blah blah, I don't care. I still loved Fallout 4, and I absolutely loved the settlement system. Hot tech, I know. So much that I spent an unhealthy amount of time basically modding Fallout to death into a settlement building, tower defense type of game. I'm not going to go too much into details, but these were the days. So when I saw that an absolute madman was trying to bring a similar settlement system into STALKER Anomaly, I was skeptical at first because it sounds like a crazy undertaking, especially knowing how janky Stalker is. It's definitely not the easiest engine to work with. But if this mod works, it would literally be a dream come true. So I tried to manage my expectations, but I haven't been excited that much about a mod in a long time. I started a new playthrough just to try it out, so here's what to expect. Little disclaimer before we start, this mod is still in beta, it's rough around the edges, there's bugs, it's all the jank and broken interactions you would expect, but it's already a well-working and fun prototype. You can already do so much with it, and you will see it's a very, very ambitious project. So let me show you Camp Cheeky. Don't ask why I decided to build my first settlement in a tunnel full of anomalies. I just thought it would be cool. We're the fuzz boys, basically. Yeah, these anomalies are called burn fuzz if you didn't get it. Anyways, as you can see, we got a pretty sick lighting setup, plenty of the boys guarding the entrance with auto turrets for support. The sleeping area right here, that one is a bit of a work in progress. Here's our kitchen. I don't know where's the cook again, he should be around. He's probably hunting for some meat. do we even have enough food for the camp? Okay, we're fine so far. Yeah, we lost 2 cooks already, not sure how sustainable the situation is. Turns out cook is the scariest job to do around here. We got a nice relaxing area and the other end of the tunnel, you get it. All of this is not for show. Everything you built has an important function with this mod now. You start a new settlement by placing a workbench. You will also need a stash to store all the items your settlement needs. By default, it's gonna be the closest stash to the workbench that will be used as the settlement stash. A couple of beds for your settlers, and then you're ready to recruit. Recruiting people works the same as companions, so you will need enough reputation and rank to convince them to join your camp. And then you can assign jobs to everyone, directly by talking to them or much more easily with the new settlement dashboard. There's a pretty extensive new tab in your PDA now for this settlement system, and here you can see how many people you have, their mood, the safety rating of your camp, if we have enough food, water, track what everybody is doing, assign jobs, and a lot more. When I said everything you built is not just for show anymore, I wasn't lying. The extra barricades, the alarm system and turrets greatly increase your safety rating on top of the people you can have guarding the place, and it decreases your chances of getting raided, because you will get raided from time to time. All these barrels are collecting water for the camp, the furniture is great to boost morale, and then all the crafting stations can be used by your settlers. The cook will make some food, the crafter will craft ammo and refill the turrets automatically, you can have a dock to make medicine, scavengers as well that will search the zone and bring back some loot to the camp, but might get hurt in the process when they're away, and your settlers get experience and get better at their job with time. As you can see, it's already a very complete and working system that's of course fully customizable in mod configuration menu. And if you have any doubts about how something works, there's a tab in the PDA that explains everything in details, which is really useful when you get started. When you start having multiple settlements, you can fast travel between them, set up trading caravans, transfer people from one to another, and you can of course keep an eye on rival settlements and attack them to take them over or simply destroy them. So yeah, technically it's still a beta, it's still janky and rough around the edges, but you can see how ambitious and exciting this project is, and I can't wait for more updates. Right now, all the base features are already in, and it's a matter of fine-tuning everything. I just wish we could watch settlers actually use tools, chill on the furniture, and interact more with the settlement in general to make it more immersive, but besides that, everything is already working super well. Generally, I wouldn't care too much about building a hideout, I would just do the bare minimum to store my loot and do some crafting, but now spending resources to actually build something cool and benefit from it at the same time is taking a whole new level. The install is super easy, just follow the steps on the ModDB page, there's really nothing complicated here. So absolutely amazing new project and a completely new thing to do in the game, if that's your thing, of course. Next, I want to talk about 2 mods that work very well together, still in the same spirit of having new things to do in the game, because they will add a lot of new missions for you to do. First is Job to Done, a huge expansion of all the Radiant quests in the game. The Radiant quest being all these procedurally generated missions you can do on repeat to grind money and rep all the fetch missions, go kill these guys, go kill these mutants, go find this stash, all these missions you spend most of your time doing outside of the main questline, and that can get really repetitive. This mod directly addresses the issue by giving you a much bigger pool of things to do. There's a big focus on bounties and assassination missions. It definitely caters to people who want more action, but there's a lot more too. Artifacts to find, deliveries, and a lot of new encounters. There's also a lot of unique quests that receive some special attention in the writing, creating backstories that are pretty fun. I definitely recommend reading what people tell you before taking some missions. Overall, it's a great mod to just add new things to do in this giant gameplay loop you repeat over and over. This mod is part of the Redone collection that I highly recommend checking out in general. I think it's part of it. I'm always confused with the naming convention they have, the repack, retune, redone categories. Anyways, I will leave all the links in the video description because a lot of the projects in there are worth checking out. Combat AI, for example, is amazing and makes NPCs much smarter and enjoyable to play against. Mutant Collection is a ton of new mutants to fight, which honestly could fit in this video because it actually brings variety and new things to do. There's a lot. I know most of you have heard about them already, they're very popular mods, but if for some reason you haven't, definitely check them out. Anyways, this was not the second mod I was talking about that pairs very well with Job to Done. The other mod I had in mind is Cities of Ghost, which is an amazing mod by the same author, actually. Where Job to Done adds a lot of new Radiant missions, Cities of Ghosts actually adds brand new quests for you to do. And they're all focused in the northern locations, which is absolutely perfect because if you played Gamma long enough, you know that the game kind of falls off and becomes way less interesting and exciting when you reach the north. You will only be able to access these new quests after you shut down the Miracle Machine and the Brain Scorcher, and you get them by talking to random NPCs in the world or your PDA task board, like any other quest. They're pretty rare, but technically you can replay them multiple times in the same playthrough, which is interesting because some of them have multiple endings. I only played 2 out of the 20 available right now, so I can't judge the whole mod, but so far they've been really fun, with good writing and ideas, pretty dark and weird, so they definitely fit the mood. Okay, the guy who sent me there didn't lie, like there's actually weird radio playing when you come close to the building. Let's go investigate. So far all the missions have been pretty short. It's nothing like mind-blowing, but it's very nice to have new things to do. I'm not going to say or show you too much because the whole point is having you discover new things, so I'm obviously not gonna spoil them, but it's been a fun experience so far. It really brings back a lot of weird, scary and supernatural stories to the zone, which is really fun to see. The mod also adds a lot of new campfire stories, tales from random stalkers, which is actually pretty cool because you're going to hear about some zone legends from people that will kind of turn out to be real in these new missions. Okay, I'm saying too much. Try this mod, it's great. We miss good stories and new fun quests to do, and Cities of Ghosts brings exactly this to the table. Here would be the perfect spot to talk about Duty Expansion. On paper, it's exactly the type of mods I want to talk about today. If you play Gamma, you already have it installed, by the way. You just need to turn it on. It brings a new companion, a new series of missions to do with her and unlock her. It's a bit like HIP, but with much more interesting missions. By the way, there's an add-on to be able to use Anna, the Duty Expansion companion, and HIP together. If you want, I'll leave it in the description. Anyways, I'm torn because I really want to recommend this mod, but it's an old one and it has some issues. Some people seem to be playing with it without any problems. That's my case so far, but for some, it causes bugs, crashes, and more importantly, if you turn it on, it stays on. You can't turn it off or you break your save, which is kind of a big deal. So I don't know, it's a really cool mod. Should I recommend it? If you like gambling, I guess. Might be a great experience, might be crashes. I've been looking to see if there was some patches or fixes for it. I haven't found anything, so if you know, please just let me know in the comments. Next, let's talk about the Medik, the health monitoring device, which replaces your health HUD by an actual device you can check in-game. First, it looks insanely cool, so that's enough of a reason to use it already, but it fits perfectly this video spirit because now you just don't need the HUD anymore. You can check all your vitals with it, and with AmmoCheck, you can add the feature to check how much ammo you have in your weapons, so you don't need an ammo counter in the HUD anymore. You already had this option if you played with the magazine system, but if you're like me and don't like the magazine mechanics, you can enjoy the AmmoCheck without the magazines. Technically, it's not absolutely necessary, and you can just count how many bullets you shoot in your head to know how many you have left, but it's always nice to have. If I do a new playthrough, it's 100% gonna be with no HUD this time, and it's gonna be so much more immersive. You know what? Let me go over the settings quickly, so if you want to play with no HUD, you know exactly what to do. It's pretty easy. So first you're gonna go to Mod Configuration menu, and you're gonna look for Seed HUD, which is right here, and you're gonna turn off the radiation exposure bar. Next, if we look at the bottom left, you can turn off the health HUD by pressing H by default, so we're gonna do exactly that. And then you're gonna press Alt-M, which is gonna open the Medik options. Then you're gonna go to Game HUD, and here you can turn off the sidebar. I'm not gonna go over everything, it's pretty much self-explanatory, but for example, if you drink or take medicine or like are hungry or thirsty, you're gonna have the status icon, what you can see on the bottom left. You can turn this off too if you want. I'd rather not do it, I think they're important, but if you really want absolutely no HUD, you can turn them off right here. And then you can decide if you want to keep the minimap or not. It's a shortcut you will find in mod configuration menu, or you just use your PDA as a map. I personally keep it on because it's very annoying to find a specific person when you give back a mission or something like this. But that's it, that's how you play without HUDs now pretty much, which is kind of amazing. Next, I want to talk about the whole Alife suite, let's call it this way, the Alife Collection. It's not directly new content to do, but it reshapes the behavior of every NPC in the game so much that the whole experience feels different and fresh. It's a bit confusing because when the latest Gamma update released, the 0.95 patch, it was included with the update, then it was turned off because there was some issues, and at the time of making this video, it looks like it's still off by default. So I recommend removing what's included with the base Gamma setup and reinstalling everything manually so you have the latest versions for everything. So first you have Alife Plus that completely reworks the Alife in the game, so the behavior of every NPC and mutant. It's built on a system of causes and needs. It basically gives a purpose to every NPC and let emergent behavior, well, emerge out of this. There's no scripted events, everything happens as a reaction to the events in the world. So squads will go investigate a gunfight that happened not too far. If there's some loot to get, people will try to get revenge if you kill their friends. If someone brags on the message system that they just found an artifact, chances some thugs will try to rob them. The mutant behavior has been completely reworked too, with a whole nest, lair and predator mechanics. It's a full rework of the Alife of the game. Overall, it makes the world much more alive and interesting to be part of, and you know that every action you take might trigger a reaction. It's highly customizable, and I recommend tweaking some of the settings after playing with it for a bit to tailor how much activity you want in the zone to your liking, if you like things more quiet or not, and so on. So this mod is the first part of the collection, but there's a lot more you can add to it. You have Alife Guard and Alife Balance, which are two sides of the same coin. Actually, it's not really accurate to describe it like this, but I don't have a better metaphor at hand. Alife Guard keeps the zone population under control. It's more of a performance add-on, and Alife Balance actually controls the NPC spawn timers depending on how many died recently, how active are some areas, and so on. It's basically designed to keep a healthy amount of activity across all the different maps, and both are designed to work with the Alife Plus add-on. And then you have Alife Tactics that has the same goals as the Combat AI add-on we talked about before, so don't use both at the same time. If you're using the rest of Alife Collection, just go with Alife Tactics. It's a complete rework of the enemy behavior during combat. They will be much smarter and make decisions based on the situation, trying to flank you and outmaneuver you if they feel they can get away with it, run away if they're outgunned or you wiped half their squad already. They will hide, use items like heals. More experienced stalkers will be more dangerous and more accurate. It definitely makes the fights harder. I'm not sure I'm going to use this for my next Iron Man runs. Actually, maybe that's what I need. But it completely changes the rhythm of gunfights. Things get much more interesting and you can't abuse the dumb AI too much anymore. At the time of making this video, Alife Tactics is still a work in progress and reworked mutants' behavior is not done yet. But when it's ready, I'm curious to see the difference. Actually, most of my deaths are from mutants already. I don't know how I should feel about making them smarter. Overall, this whole Alife collection deeply reshapes the behavior of NPCs in the zone. It's subtle at first when you start using the mod, but after a while you will notice that it starts feeling like a whole different game and you will have to adapt your gameplay to survive. And that's exactly what we want. I already talked about it in the past, but I'm going to quickly mention it again because it's a great mod and it fits perfectly the theme of this video. Stalker Best Friend. You can get a pet, you need to do a brand new mission to unlock it, then you have extra side quests to do to unlock new features with it, pet inventory, backpack. It deeply changes the gameplay, you can give him orders, you can pet him obviously. It's a great add-on to have. It's not in base Gamma probably because it kind of breaks the balance and makes the game a bit easier with the pet, but it's definitely worth it. Then there's little cool mods like Vasgun's Cozy Spot that reshapes a bit Rostock to look like Stalker 2. We see very few map modification add-ons, so it's always nice when I see one, especially because this one looks great, and this is a functional anomaly. You can jump into it and teleport straight in the center of garbage with it. Okay, I always mess this up on the first try. Can I do it? Yes, parkour! It goes very well with, oh my god, are these levitating cars? And yeah, when you look at this, I know you're thinking the same thing I'm thinking. Please do more. I want to see more places being shaped by the anomalies you find inside them. That's so cool. So everything I talked about so far, they all work together with no issues. They don't require a new save. They're all very easy to install. They do change the overall balance of the game a little bit, so keep that in mind. But I highly recommend every single one of them. And I wanted to finish with something different, because that one is straight up a brand new game mod. It's been here forever, right under our eyes, the Azazel mod. You don't hear about it that much because it's always been kind of buggy and very niche. But the Azazel mod rework add-on is bringing it back in the spotlight, and I'm all for it honestly, because it's a very fun and interesting and drastically different way of playing the game. Basically, you start a character like you would normally, but if you die, you get reincarnated into a random stalker in the zone. Just lore-wise, it's super interesting. You could easily imagine some zone shenanigans that prevent your soul from dying and just put you in another body. Anyways, the point is you become a random stalker in the zone, maybe from a different faction, in a completely different location, with different gear, of course, and you start a new story from this point on, until you die again and restart somewhere else in another body. It's a very fun and casual way to play the game. You can decide to leave a backpack with your loot when you die. It will be marked on your PDA, so your reincarnated self can loot it back or not. That's up to you. You can even take the body of the stalker that killed you, which is pretty fun. Like I said, it's a very niche game mod, but I'm really happy to see it getting some love, because it can be a very fun and refreshing way of playing the game. And I think that's it for now. That's everything I've found and I tested so far. If this doesn't make me want to play more Gamma already, then I don't know what will. I have a lot of story mods I left on the back burner I really want to play. Actually, maybe it's time. We haven't had a good old story mod review on the channel for a while. We'll see. Okay, thanks for watching. Shout out to War Thunder for sponsoring today's video. If you want to try the game for free on PC, PlayStation, Xbox or on mobile, you can use my links in the pinned comments or video description to register. If you're new or haven't played for 6 months, you will receive a massive bonus pack for PC and consoles with premium vehicles, in-game currency and more. I'm supposed to find a dead guy photo album, but I'm only finding monoliths so far. Oh wait, did it die on it? Yeah, okay, that's... Yo, relax. Oh, that was the mission. Okay, we're done. Cities of Ghosts. Very nice. Okay.